current term is non-proliferative diabetic retinopathy. Non meaning it's not proliferating. And what's proliferation? Well, proliferation is something that's growing or progressing. You can think of it that way. So non-proliferative is good because it's not progressing. It's not proliferating or growing something in your eye that shouldn't be there. And that's very common. I'd say out of all the diabetics we see, that's the most common thing we see. There's tiers of where you're at in that disease. You might be mild, you might be moderate, you might be severe. Doing the testing where we do the angiogram and doing the cross-sectional scans where we do the OCT or optical coherence tomography shows us where you are in that stage. Severe non-proliferative diabetic retinopathy or background diabetic retinopathy means that you're on the cusp of having bigger problems. You're on the verge of developing proliferative retinopathy. And again, we may go ahead and implement some treatments to help you not cross over into that territory. Proliferative, what does that mean? It means that something's proliferating, something's growing. Well, what's growing? I mean, you've told me about non-proliferative. It means that, you told me findings where I'm losing circulation. Well, why is something growing when I'm losing circulation? Why would there be something growing in my eye? It's because your tissues in your eye, when they lose circulation, they're not dead. They don't instantly die. They get sick, and when they get sick, they secrete out things called inflammatory mediators, cytokines, growth factors. They're screaming for help. That tissue is inflamed and it's screaming for help. It doesn't have enough oxygen coming to it. So one of the things that happens when it puts out those growth factors, one big one being vascular endothelial growth factor, that stimulates growth of blood vessels. And what will happen is you'll get abnormal blood vessels that just start to grow like a tangled mess of cords. Imagine that wadded up ball of Christmas lights or an extension cord in your garage that's just in a knot that you can't undo. Well, that's what those blood vessels look like when they start growing in your eye. The things we see in the eye are driven from the things that are happening in your body. We can try to reverse the things in the eye, but if the force of the problem in your body is pushing against us, we can't overcome that. There's a momentum to that. And this, like described before, where patients are wondering, well, I've got it under control now, why isn't it okay? Because there's momentum behind that disease. You're dealing with circulation damage that's happened over years before. So we can help it in a matter of months. It may be 1 to 2 years, but we can get you to a better place. But just know that it can't be undone immediately.